Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Kerbal space program. I've built myself an SSTO. It's rather nice. You can take a look at it. It's got plenty of wing surfaces. It's got two big Rapier engines on the back, just for that a bit more thrust than the one can provide. And it's also got its pilot, Bob Kerman, who is... No, actually no. Bob isn't going to be flying the plane today. I think I'm going to fly the plane today. Bob, get out, let me get in. Hi there, I suppose I ought to explain exactly what I mean by I will fly this. This is the Oculus Rift DK2, and I'm the lucky owner of some software called VorpX that allows me to give pretty much any DirectX game compatibility with this headset. So, I've managed, after a few days of trying, to get Kerbal Space Program working with it. It pretty much emulates mouse movement, and I've got it set up so that when I click in the IVA to start moving my view around with the mouse, instead I can just move my head, and it pretty much matches where I ought to be looking. Sometimes it desyncs and there are a few other associated problems with it, but for the most part, it works pretty well. It works pretty well. So, I think we'll get started. There's one problem. There is one problem, that's that I get an itchy nose. Right, throttling up, engines on. Crikey, why did it... Okay, and brakes off. Brakes really need to be off right now. Brakes are off. Are they? The brakes on. Oh, no, brakes are off. Fantastic. And we are in the air already. This plane has quite a significant amount of lift. And also some reaction wheels. There's the space center. Unfortunately, there is no, there's no 3D or positional tracking, so I can't quite get the depth perception, and I can't lean in to look at my displays and things. But despite that, it still is rather, I think the space center's coming up, the spaceplane hangar. It still is really impressive. It is really rather impressive. I'm going to fly without advanced SAS on. Trim up a bit. Maybe one touch more. There we go. Right. This is without advanced SAS. And I shouldn't need to use the mouse, so we're going to have this hand free to do nothing with. Let me just check it's recording. It is. It seems to be recording absolutely fine. Yes, it ought to be. Oh, and there is the Space Center. Of course, for you, things are quite distorted. You can only see the footage in one of the eyes. Go see the video about how should Oculus Rift videos be presented, if you're wondering why I'm only showing one eye. Pull up. But man, even without the 3D, I've been wanting this for a while. So, I think I'm going to do quite a lot of videos like this. There is a chance, having said everything about this is how Oculus Rift videos ought to be presented, there is a chance I'll be able to get it to work in 1080p 16:9 simultaneously, as if you were watching any normal footage. It's a fairly slim chance, but there is a chance nonetheless. I'm going to crash now, aren't I? Oh dear! Crashing is not nice. Crashing is not nice. Let me restart and then we'll actually go to launch, go to orbit, I suppose. So there is a chance I'll be able to get proper footage working, but for now I'll just be using this eye and that eye. That eye? I can't remember which way around it is. Into the cockpit. There we go, working once more. Okay, in fact let me turn... hello. Let me turn off... has that turned it off? There, brakes. Fantastic. Throttle on... It's not accepting my head input. What's going on? Oh, there we go. There we go. I clicked outside the window. It's really disorienting when that happens. Throttle on! Full throttle! And we're going to go for orbit. That's what we're going to try and do. Whew. And pull up. I just destroyed the tail wing. I think I just destroyed the tail wing. The tail connector thing. Oh dear. That also means that my yaw is probably gone. Yep. Oh no, my yaw is still there. Fantastic. That's nice to see. But everything else is gone. Great. Oh well, I wasn't using it anyway, was I? It doesn't really matter. And here we go. So let's go for orbit. This should have plenty of fuel. Gonna tip up to 45 degrees or so. There's the sun. Looking directly at it would be a bad idea in real life, but we are in a game. I may forget that at times, but I am in a game. And this is the video. It's not an awful lot to it, is there really? I suppose going into orbit isn't the most exciting of processes. Let me see if I can make it a bit more exciting by doing this. Oh, there we go. Huh, there's the second runway island. And, oh, it just occurred to me, I don't know, I think it is working. Wow, it's given it a different lighting. The lighting engine works really nicely within the cockpits, actually. The sun there casts a bit of a shadow on the dashboard, and then when I turn, the reflection from the sea makes everything much brighter. Really does work rather well. Okay, so the thing is, right, I'm intending to try and stay in IVA view as much as possible, so I'm going to have to rely on my controls here to help me know exactly how things are going. Didn't really plan this out beforehand, so we will see how it goes. Going to stay above 45 degrees. Let's have a look here. I'm ascending at a rate of about 100 meters per second. My altitude, I think... Yes, my altitude is now 5, 4, 3, 2, 1... 10 kilometers up. We're 10 kilometers up, traveling 270 meters per second and gaining elevation of 45 degrees. Okay, so when I hit 15 kilometers up, that's probably when I want to be pitching forwards a little, so that I don't jump out of the atmosphere. Haven't got all that many air intakes on this ship, so I need to be careful. I do need to be careful. So yes, SSTO. The only thing you can see is me talking, and the inside of this cockpit. Not the most interesting of things, but this is why I'm going to think of some different formats. Oh dear, that's 20 kilometers. I have not been paying attention. Let's tip forwards. Tip forwards, please. Oh dear, 23 kilometers, 24 kilometers. I thought that was 100 meters per second. Oh, and now we're in rocket mode. Okay, we're in rocket mode. We're going straight for orbit. I just heard the engine switch as they ran out of sufficient air intake. Okay, let's just hope I have the fuel for this then. Pitch up as much as I can. I'm going to have to get some mods to give me more information in this cockpit, aren't I? Otherwise, this is going to be very, very difficult. And, yeah, it's not going to work so well. How about I do this? Ooh, okay, cut. 40 kilometers and rising. There are the stars. The stars are all around me. I should be able to 60 kilometers and rising. There's the Earth. Or there's Kerbal even. Not the Earth. Wow. There it is. I think my apparatus ought to be out of the atmosphere, and we ought to be able to hear music as soon as I leave the atmosphere. That's one of the telltale signs. Now it's 60 kilometers, leaving atmosphere in 3, 2, 1. Can't hear the music. Oh well. Oh well, you've got my voice to serenade you, don't need music. There it is. There it is, that's music as well. Yes, we're out the atmosphere. Okay, so my vertical velocity is staying pretty constant, which means my apparatus has got to be pretty high. We've just reached... what's that, 80 kilometers? Wow. Oops. We're just past 80 kilometers if these scales are correct. Which, honestly, I'm not sure... excuse me, I'm not sure anymore if they are. Hey. Oh dear. Oh dear. At least my orbital thing seems to be working. We're very slowly dropping in vertical ascent speed. Oh, there we go. Right. Now the needle is slowing down. I'm going to turn this around. Ooh, dear. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yep, yep. Prograde. Right. You see that dial there that I'm looking at? The one that I'm desperately trying to read the altitude off of? It's slowing down. And once it stops increasing, that means we've hit apoapsis. Which means we're at the highest point in our orbit. Another way I can tell that's from within this is by the prograde marker, the yellow circle I'm looking directly at. Once that settles on the horizon, that means we are at the highest point in our orbit. So even without mods, I can tell a few things. 95 kilometers. I'm going to burn gently. There we go. Burn gently along the horizon, increasing our speed. At 90... Okay, we've just passed 95 kilometers up. And it looks like we're about to start falling back down. So I'm going to go full throttle. Well, just a touch off full throttle. Oh dear. Ooh. Oh dear. That's the fuel gone. Oh no. I've run out of fuel. Oh, it's because I burnt way too up and I left the atmosphere way too early. I didn't get enough speed and so I've burnt too much liquid fuel. Oh no. Oh no. We're going to fall back down to Kerbal. Well, I guess this makes for a more interesting video, doesn't it? We've actually just run out of oxidizer. We should have plenty of liquid fuel. Unfortunately, we can only use the engines now when we are in atmosphere, which isn't going to be long. We're now falling at a rate of about 100 meters per second, but that will increase in no time. Take the advanced CS off, I might as well. Well, this is my first fully fledged mission in the Oculus Rift, and unsurprisingly, it was a failure. Perhaps that's for the best, though. Maybe getting some mods to give me more information, so that I can do moon missions and even interplanetary missions. Where is the moon? I can't quite see it. Hang on, let me... Ooh, spinning fast. There's the sun. Where is the moon? No, that's Kerbal. Still, it's incredible, though. I know it sacrifices the quality of footage that you receive as a viewer, but hopefully I can make this entertaining enough for you by editing it, perhaps. We will see. I will try and work on getting the full 1080p 16:9. I think it is possible with Vorpex. But otherwise, we might as well time accelerate at this point, I suppose. Altitude is currently 80 kilometers and falling. We're going to be having atmospheric re-entry soon enough. Now, the needle for how fast we're falling is pretty damn high, so I'm not going to bother reading it out. Ooh, I wonder what this is going to feel like. Re-entry. Oh dear. And it looks like we're coming down the middle of the ocean, which isn't exactly ideal, but oh well. 71 kilometers up. Going to put advanced CS back on. Now there is another functionality of the cockpit, which I should be able to employ right here. And that's, peeking at the windows. There we go. Oh, it's like I'm leaning forwards in my seat. That's actually what it feels like. So I get a better view of the sky and the stars. And the planet that's rushing up to meet me. Okay, and then if I double click again, back to normal view. There we go. Okay, that works fairly well. It works fairly well. Currently travelling nearly 2 kilometers per second, which, for a bit of trivia, is about the speed that I was supposed to be travelling before I actually turned on the rocket engines. Manual switching, not a nice thing. Although if they didn't manually switch when they did, once they were deprived of oxygen, I probably would have flamed out and started flat spinning, which in VR is not something that I really want to do, I think. Oh, but it would be fun though, wouldn't it? Let me see if I can recreate a flat spin. The universe is spinning around me. Hang on. I can't even see the ground. You know what? No, no. Ooh, oh no, the engine's coming back on. Yeah, be offline, thank you. I don't want to turn on the engines when I'm spinning. In fact, I don't want to be doing this when I'm spinning and re-entering at the same time. There are the flame effects. Oh, can see the flames. This is a bumpy ride, I think. Let's see if we can land on that continent there. Landing, not something else, not something I've tested yet. We'll see how it goes in VR. Ooh, hello flames. Surprisingly enough, you don't really get the sense of speed. I guess I am very high up off the ground, so it's not surprising. But there we go, we've re-entered. Now the engines ought to be able to come back online. There they are. There's the roar of my engines. Oh, oh. Controls are very responsive right now. But there is the mainland, and my altitude is 10 kilometers and falling. So I'm going to pitch back up and try and pull out of this dive. Oh, easily done. I have a lot of air in there. I have lots of wing surface, so I guess it's not surprising I was able to pitch up that easily. But there we go, re-entered back into Kerbal. Man. Okay, let's cruise at 10 kilometers. And let me use this mode, so I can actually see what's going on. Oh, we need positional tracking so that I can actually lean forwards to do it, rather than relying on the keys. Surface velocity, just 550 meters per second and increasing. We're steadily gaining altitude. And there is the continent I'm aiming to land on. I'll land the plane, and then the video will end. And in the future, perhaps we'll get some more interesting mission briefs, like landing on the moon entirely in the Oculus Rift. We will see. If you have any suggestions, then of course feel free to post them in the comments below this video, and I will consider them, perhaps. It seems that we're cruising at a nice sedate, about 12 kilometers or so. I think I'm reading this right. I must be reading this right, because it does feel like I am 12 kilometers up, which is quite nice. The Oculus Rift DK2 itself has got a few problems, but it's working much better than I expected it would with KSP. Alright, land ahoy! Oh, I'm even getting the flame effects again. I guess I'm travelling pretty fast. Okay, enough of that. Let's go and land. Should we dive straight down? Oh, this is a better mode, isn't it? I do like this mode. It gives me a better view of the ground rushing up to meet me, and I can always just look straight down at my dials and things. Bring the throttle back down. There we go. I wonder what a abort would be like. There are so many things that this is going to be really good for in KSP. And you'd think the planes would be the foremost of all of them. But, you know, I reckon that moon landings and things like that, where you can't see the ground properly, you can only look out these little windows, I think they'll be quite tense. For me, at least. I don't know about for you. That, of course, is the problem, isn't it? The problem that I face. To make this entertaining when you can see relatively little. I'm just going to have to put myself in really dangerous situations, aren't I? Kind of like this one. Okay. I'm going to take advanced SES off to make this even more dangerous. And pull up. There we go. Okay, where can I land exactly? Let's do a bit of flying. Whee! Oh, yes! Oh, that's fun. This seems pretty flat, actually. Oh, I should have radar altitude. What altitude is my at? Just over 200 meters? 200 meters now, okay. This seems fairly flat. I mean, I'm going to bring it back this way and point to the west. There we go, the KSC should be directly in front of me, on the opposite continent. And I'm going to bring my altitude down, go in for a landing as soon as possible. Okay, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Pull up a little, please. There we go, pretty good marker. SAS back on. Bring the throttle all the way down. And I probably want to swap back to this mode so I can actually see my dials a bit easier. No whistling, it hurts your eardrums apparently. 100 meters, I think, or is that 50? I seem to be a bit low for 100, so I'm guessing it's 50. Which means we're pretty much coming in for a landing. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. We want to tip back up before we do. Are the landing gear open? They were never closed. They are open. They are in fact open. I have to put my hope in that. Skimming across the ground now. I wouldn't say skimming, it's more floating. I have got a lot of wing surface on this. Okay, and we should be coming in for touchdown very, very soon. Just want to flare up a little. And ground. There it is. Ooh. Wow, that was nice and peaceful, wasn't it? I appear to be rolling down a hill. But otherwise, that's the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, thank you very much for watching. This has been the Kerbal Space Program in VR. It really is something. It really is something, and I'm hoping I can make some interesting videos of this, because this is how I'd like to be playing KSP, as you might imagine. As I roll dangerously along the ground in a plane. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any suggestions for what I can do, post them in comments. Otherwise, I will see you next time.